All right, so you're ready to dive in with me? Today, we are really unpacking what it means to be a projector in human design.
Buckle up.
I like it.
It's going to be a juicy one.
I'm excited about this. We're going way beyond the basics today. Like the listener, you already know about undefined sacral centers.
Right.
You've heard about all of that.
Uh-huh.
So we're not going to rehash human design 101.
We're going deep.
But we're getting into the nitty-gritty today, the real world stuff that helps you actually live as a projector.
Right.
That's not just the theory.
It's juicy stuff, trust me.
Yeah.
Projectors have this unique energetic signature.
Okay.
That can be their greatest strength, but also their biggest downfall. So we're going to explore all those paradoxes.
Paradoxes. Okay, now you've got me hooked. Let's start with this whole non-energy type thing, because I get that it's not about having NO energy.
Right.
But what does it actually mean in practice? How do you live that out?
Well, so much of the world operates on this go-getter energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about hustle initiating, making things happen.
Yeah.
But projectors are here to master something different.
Okay.
And that is energy management.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So instead of being the ones constantly pushing and driving,
yes,
projectors are designed to kind of guide that energy flow.
Right.
It's like if you imagine a bustling city and you have the traffic controller overseeing it all, making sure things run smoothly.
I love that. That's a fantastic analogy.
That's kind of what we're talking about.
Projectors are incredible at seeing the big picture understanding systems optimizing energy flow.
Okay.
They're the strategic advisors. They're the ones who can see the potential in others.
Yeah.
And really help guide them towards success.
That sounds amazing.
It is.
Honestly. But then there's this whole super slave thing.
Yes.
That the source material mentions.
Right.
How do you go from being this masterful energy guide to feeling like you're constantly overworking and burning out?
It's a real risk for projectors.
Yeah.
Because their aura is designed to focus intensely on others.
Right.
They can get pulled into situations where they're giving too much, amplifying everyone else's energy and neglecting their own needs.
You know, it's funny you say that.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend who's a projector.
Okay.
And she is incredibly talented and insightful, but she always seems exhausted.
Right.
She's constantly taking on projects, helping everyone out, saying yes to everything.
Yeah.
Is that a classic projector pitfall?
It absolutely is.
Oh, wow.
Projectors are natural helpers, and they thrive on recognition.
Yeah.
But if they're not careful, that desire for recognition can lead them down a path of overwork and resentment.
Resentment. Yeah, nobody wants that.
No.
So how does a projector avoid that trap?
Right.
Because the source material talks a lot about waiting for recognition, waiting for the right invitations.
Absolutely.
But honestly, that whole waiting thing feels so passive.
It's not about being passive at all.
Okay.
It's about strategic alignment. Imagine a projector at a networking event.
Okay.
Instead of frantically pitching themselves to everyone, they observe. They engage in meaningful conversations, and they wait.
Yeah.
That magnetic projector energy will attract the right people to approach them.
Oh.
Yes.
So it's about trusting
Yes.
that the right opportunities will find them.
Exactly.
Rather than chasing after everything that comes their way.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the projector magic.
But how do they know if an invitation is truly correct?
Right.
What are the signs that they're being recognized for who they are, not just for what they can do?
That's a crucial question.
Yeah.
And it takes practice to discern.
Okay.
The source material talks about projectors needing to be mindful of who they let into their aura.
Okay.
Because their aura is so focused and receptive,
Right.
they can be deeply affected by the energy of others.
So it's not just about waiting for any invitation. It's about being selective.
Exactly.
Almost like you're the bouncer at an exclusive club.
Yeah. Deciding who gets access to this precious energy.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it's not about being snobby or aloof.
Right.
It's about self-preservation.
Yeah.
Projectors need to be around people who genuinely appreciate their gifts and won't drain their energy.
So how do they actually do that?
Right.
It's all very well to say, wait for recognition.
Yeah.
But how could a projector actually feel when an opportunity is truly aligned?
This is where understanding your authority in human design comes into play. Your inner compass, guiding you towards decisions that are aligned with your unique energy.
So it's not just about logic
No.
or external validation.
No.
It's about tuning into your body, your intuition, whatever your specific authority is.
Yes.
And feeling into whether an opportunity feels right on a deeper level.
Precisely.
So much of this is like relearning
Yes.
how to listen to yourself.
It is.
Which is like the opposite of what we're taught growing up.
Exactly.
It's like learning a new language.
It is, right. The language of your body, your intuition,
Yeah.
your energy.
It takes practice.
But once you start understanding it,
yes,
it becomes an incredible tool for navigating life.
it truly is.
Wow.
And for projectors, mastering that language is essential for unlocking their potential
Yeah.
and creating a life that feels both fulfilling and sustainable.
This is good stuff.
It is.
We are just getting started.
Yeah.
We are going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back to dive even deeper into the world of the projector. So we've talked about projectors needing to be discerning about invitations, learning to trust their inner authority.
Right.
But let's get real for a second. Like, we're not just floating around in a bubble of perfectly aligned energy, right? Life gets messy.
It does.
And one area where things can get particularly tricky for projectors is in their closest relationships.
Yeah.
The source material dives into some interesting dynamics around, like, families and romantic partnerships.
Right.
Families especially seem like a potential minefield for projectors.
It can be.
I can just imagine all those expectations and needs swirling around, pulling on their energy.
Absolutely.
What does the source material say about navigating that?
Well, it can be a real challenge.
Yeah.
Uru, the founder of human design, actually, he uses the term super slave
Right?
to describe how projectors can get sucked into meeting everyone else's needs
Oh, wow.
within a family system.
Interesting.
It goes back to that focused aura and the tendency to plug in to the energy of others.
So it's like they become the default emotional support system, the fixer, the advisor for everyone in the family.
Yes.
Always on call, ready to lend an ear or offer guidance.
Exactly. And while projectors generally love to help and have a deep understanding of others, this constant giving can leave them feeling drained and resentful.
Yeah.
Especially if their own needs aren't being met.
It makes you wonder how many projectors out there are sacrificing their own well-being, trying to keep everyone else happy. But what's the solution? Should they just, like, avoid their families altogether?
That's not realistic or healthy.
Right.
It's about setting boundaries, recognizing patterns, and finding ways to engage with family members that feel energetically sustainable. Wren actually suggests that projectors thrive in one-on-one connections where they can focus their energy and really tune into the other person.
So maybe instead of trying to manage the chaos of a big family gathering, you have like a heart-to-heart with your mom, go for a walk with your sibling, have a deep conversation with your cousin.
Exactly. It's about being selective and making conscious choices about how you engage.
Right.
And it's also about recognizing that you don't have to be everything to everyone. You can still be a loving family member without sacrificing your own well-being.
This reminds me of something you mentioned earlier about projectors needing to be mindful of who they let into their aura.
Yes.
It sounds like that applies not just to casual acquaintances, but to close relationships as well.
Absolutely. The people we spend the most time with, especially our romantic partners, have a profound impact on our energy field.
Yeah.
And for projectors who are so sensitive to those subtle energetic influences, choosing the right partner can make all the difference.
I'm curious about what the source material says about romantic relationships for projectors, because so much of the advice out there is about, like, putting yourself out there, going after what you want.
Right.
Which seems to go against the whole waiting for an invitation thing.
Right.
How does a projector find love without forcing it?
It's a fascinating paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it all comes back to that core projector strategy of waiting for recognition.
Right.
And remember, waiting isn't about being passive.
Right.
It's about aligning with your energy and trusting that the right people will be drawn to you.
So it's less about swiping right and more about, like, cultivating your own energy, your own magnetism, and letting the universe do its thing.
Exactly. And when a projector is living in alignment with their design, when they're radiating their authentic energy, they become irresistible to the people who are meant for them.
Okay.
The source material talks about this beautiful process of two energies recognizing each other.
Okay.
Almost like a cosmic handshake.
So you're telling me I should just sit back, relax, and trust that Mr. Right will magically appear at my doorstep bearing a bouquet of roses and a formal invitation to love.
Yeah. Well, it might not be quite that simple.
Okay.
But the principle holds true.
Yeah.
When you're focused on embodying your true projector essence, You're naturally attracting people who resonate with that energy.
Right.
It's less about chasing and more about becoming a magnet.
That's such a powerful image, the projector as a magnet.
It is.
But what about those times when you do feel drawn to someone? How does a projector approach that without falling into the trap of initiating or pushing too hard?
It's a delicate dance, for sure.
Yeah.
And this is where understanding your authority becomes so crucial.
Nope.
Your authority remembers that inner compass
Right.
that guides you towards decisions that are aligned with your energy.
So it's about feeling into whether pursuing someone feels right on a gut level?
Yes.
Rather than letting your mind create all sorts of stories and justifications.
Exactly. And if you're feeling a strong pull,
Yeah.
there are subtle ways to make your presence known,
Okay.
to create an opening for the other person to recognize you.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Give me an example. How does a projector flirt without initiating?
It might be something as simple as making eye contact,
Okay.
offering a genuine compliment, or engaging in a conversation that showcases your unique insights.
Right.
It's about letting your projector energy shine through without forcing anything.
So it's about creating a space for recognition to occur naturally rather than trying to orchestrate the whole thing.
Exactly. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply be yourself,
Yeah.
fully present and radiating your authentic projector magic.
Oh.
That's what truly attracts the right people.
That's such a refreshing perspective. It
Yeah.
takes the pressure off trying to make something happen and allows space for the universe to work its magic.
And speaking of magic,
Right.
there's another tool that the source material mentions that can be incredibly helpful for projectors
Okay.
in all types of relationships, from romantic to platonic to professional. The concept of color transference.
Okay, color transference. We touched on this earlier,
We did.
but I'm still a bit fuzzy on the details. Can you break it down for me?
In human design, each person has a specific color
Okay.
that represents their underlying motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And when we interact with others, our colors can influence each other.
Okay.
For projectors who are already so sensitive to the energy of others,
Right.
this means their motivation can be easily distorted or pulled off track.
So if a projector is hanging out with someone whose color is out of alignment with theirs,
Right.
they might start feeling unmotivated, drained, or like they're not being true to themselves.
Exactly. It's like their energetic battery is being drained.
Interesting.
But by becoming aware of this dynamic, projectors can start to discern which relationships are truly nourishing and supportive,
Yeah.
and which ones are depleting their energy.
It's like having this superpower to sense whether the people around you are amplifying your energy
That's a great way to put it.
or dimming your light.
Yeah.
And knowing this, you can choose to spend more time with the people who bring out your best self
Right.
and set boundaries with those who don't.
Exactly. It's not about judging people or labeling them as good or bad.
Right.
It's about recognizing the energetic dynamics at play
Yeah.
and making choices that support your well-being.
You know, it's fascinating to think about how all of these projector qualities, the sensitivity, the focus, the need for recognition,
Yes.
can be both a blessing and a curse.
It's a constant dance of paradox.
Right.
But the key is to understand your design, to recognize the pitfalls,
Yeah.
and to develop strategies for navigating life in a way that feels empowering and fulfilling.
And it sounds like a big part of that is learning to trust your intuition, your authority,
Yes.
and to let go of the need to control or force things.
Surrender is a big theme for projectors.
Okay.
Surrendering to their design, surrendering to the flow of energy, surrendering to the wisdom of the universe.
It's about recognizing that they're not here to hustle and grind like everyone else.
Right.
They're here to guide, to advise, to share their unique perspective.
And when they embrace that role, when they step into their power, they become these incredible forces for change in the world.
Okay, I'm ready to dive deeper into that.
Right.
What does it actually look like for a projector to step into their power?
Yeah.
What are the specific things they can do to cultivate their gifts and create a life that feels aligned with their soul's purpose?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
So we've talked about the projector paradox, their incredible potential, but also this tendency to like get caught in those energy traps. Yeah. We've explored relationships, family dynamics, that whole waiting for recognition thing.
That's a lot.
But there's one piece of the puzzle we haven't fully explored yet, and that's the projector's mind.
Ah, yes, the projector mind.
You're right.
A truly fascinating and often misunderstood aspect of their design.
It's been described as a double-edged sword.
Yes.
Like both their greatest asset and their biggest downfall.
Exactly.
Tell me more about that. What makes the projector mind so unique?
Projectors have this incredible capacity for deep thinking.
Okay.
for seeing patterns, for understanding complex systems.
Yeah.
They're naturally drawn to knowledge, to information, to making connections that others might miss.
It's like they have this built-in X-ray vision.
I like that.
That allows them to see through the surface and into the heart of things.
That's a great way to put it.
Right.
And this mental acuity is a huge part of their gift as guides and advisors. They can see the bigger picture, anticipate potential pitfalls, and offer insights that help others make more informed decisions.
Okay, so the projector mind is clearly like a powerful tool.
It is.
But you mention a shadow side as well.
Yes.
What's the catch?
The catch is that projectors can easily get lost in their own heads.
Okay.
They can overthink, overanalyze, and get stuck in these mental loops that drain their energy and prevent them from taking action.
Oh, man, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
It's like being on a mental hamster wheel going round and round but getting nowhere.
Exactly.
So how does a projector harness the power of their mind without letting it sabotage them?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
And it goes back to something we touched on earlier.
Okay.
The importance of recognizing the difference between using your mind for yourself versus using it for others.
Can you break that down a bit more?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure I follow.
Projectors are designed to be what Raoult calls outer authorities.
Okay.
Their minds are meant to guide and advise others, not to endlessly dissect their own lives. Or try to control every outcome.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when a projector gets caught up in their own mental drama, trying to figure everything out, it can lead to a lot of frustration and exhaustion.
Absolutely.
But when they're focused on guiding someone else, offering their insights and wisdom, their minds really come alive.
And it's not about denying their own thoughts and feelings.
Right.
It's about recognizing that their mental energy is most potent when it's directed outwards towards supporting others.
It's like they have this gift for illuminating the path for others, for helping them see things in new ways.
Beautiful.
But if they get too caught up in their own internal world, that light can get dimmed.
Exactly. And this is where the projector's strategy of waiting for an invitation becomes so crucial. Because when they're invited to share their insights, to offer their guidance, it's a sign that their mental energy is being called upon in a way that's aligned with their purpose.
It's like they're waiting for the right question to be asked, the right problem to be presented.
Yes.
The right opportunity to shine their light on the world.
Exactly.
And when that invitation comes,
yes,
they can tap into the full power of their minds without getting lost in the maze of their own thoughts.
It's like they've been given permission to unleash their brilliance.
It's a beautiful thing to witness, honestly.
It is.
When a projector is in their element sharing their wisdom.
It's magic.
It's like a beacon illuminating the path forward.
It is.
But it all comes back to recognizing their value, trusting their intuition, and being willing to let go of the need to control.
Surrender is a powerful word for projectors.
Yeah.
Surrendering to their design. Surrendering to the flow of energy, surrendering to the wisdom of the universe.
It's a beautiful paradox, isn't it?
It is.
The more they surrender, the more powerful they become.
It is, and I think that's a message that resonates with all of us, whether we're projectors or not.
Yeah.
We all have these unique gifts to offer the world, but sometimes we get in our own way.
Absolutely.
We overthink, we overanalyze, we try to force things that aren't meant to be.
And sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is simply step back, trust the process.
Yes.
And allow ourselves to be guided by something greater than our own minds.
I love that, trusting the process.
Yeah.
It's a lifelong journey, but it's so worth it.
This has been such a rich and insightful deep dive.
It has.
I feel like I've gained a whole new understanding of what it means to be a projector in human design.
Me too. And I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to embrace their own unique design, whatever that may be.
Absolutely. We all have something special to offer the world.
We do.
And the more we understand ourselves,
the
more we can shine our light and create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling.
So true. Thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery.
And thanks to all of you for diving in with us. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.